Yeah, so I am from Algeria, specifically from Batna province. I actually graduated in the summer of 2024 from University of Batna to Algeria. Also, I was searching about a scholarship after graduating, and Nusa Putra scholarship opened the door for me to finally further my education and prosper my wishes and goals. Sukabumi is a very, very rich town, let's say. I enjoy walking in its streets and just enjoying the beauty that it has. And also, mentioning the beauty, let's also mention the food that is super tasty. The Department of Education here in Nusa Putra University, I'd like to say that it's very rich when it comes to the curriculum. That is very crucial for a teacher to know whether their student is actually benefiting from the material in the most effective way or not. As a teacher, dealing with young minds is very, very, very fascinating to have to build the character of a student from a very young age. Nusa Putra University is giving every student, whether it's a local or international, the opportunity to actually meet different religions, different cultures. So Algeria is a very civilized country. We were colonized by the French, and it left an imprint on our culture. For if we are going to mention the food or talk more about the food, we would have a croissant, which is basically a French pastry, and then you can have a Turkish lunch, for example, kebab or something like that, and then for dinner you can have couscous, you can have shakshuka, which is also a traditional dish.
Sampurasum, and welcome to the Genusian podcast, where we bring you the latest news, events, and the most happening people at Nusa Putra University. Today, I'm very glad to have with us Meriem from Algeria, who is a second semester student at the Department of Education and is here at Nusa Putra University as a Genusian scholar. Meriem, welcome to the Genusian podcast.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. Meriem, you're from Algeria.
Yeah.
And presently you are studying education at Nusa Putra University.
Yeah.
Can you please tell us something about your journey from Algeria to Nusa Putra University?
Yeah, so I am from Algeria, specifically from Batna province. I actually graduated in the summer of 2024 from University of Batna to Algeria. Also, I was searching about a scholarship after graduating, and Nusa Putra scholarship opened the door for me to finally further my education and prosper my wishes and goals. So the time I recall when I got the scholarship, the letter of acceptance, I was so happy, so enthusiastic to finally join the Nusa Putra community. And I remember when I first went to the airport, it was kind of like a difficult moment to say goodbye to my family and knowing for sure that it's gonna be a bit of a long time. And it's my first time actually traveling abroad, which is a very nice experience that I actually very, very appreciate. And thanks to Nusa Putra University that is given a lot of opportunities for students from different countries and have a very, let's say, rich experience with different cultures, learning different languages, especially as an Algerian student, I'm learning the Bahasa Indonesia language, which is something that opens a lot of doors for me as also a previous English teacher at private schools in Algeria.
Meriem, you are a Genusian scholar.
Yeah.
Genusian scholarship is a scholarship that Nusa Putra offers to students from across the world,
Yeah.
giving them an opportunity to study, so that if you are a good student, no matter where you are, if you meet the standards, Nusa Putra University will cover you. Your education will be free, your stay will be free, and also you'll get a living stipend, which is more or less sufficient to cover your expenses, and you will get a free education at Nusa Putra University. This is part of the mission of Nusa Putra University to ensure that everyone has access to quality education. Meriem, you are now in Indonesia, in Sukabumi, which is located in a very salubrious climb of forests and hills and in the foothills of a volcano. Can you please tell me something about your experience in at Sukabumi as a student of Nusa Putra University?
So, as I was saying, I'm here in Nusa Putra University, which is located in Sukabumi, West Java. And the thing is that Sukabumi is a very, very rich town, let's say. I enjoy walking in its streets and just enjoying the beauty that it has. And also, mentioning the beauty, let's also mention the food that is super tasty. And for me, my favorite traditional Indonesian food is martabak manis or martabak kacang. And also, I also tried nasi padang, nasi goreng, and spicy. You know, it's very spicy, and the spices and the palate is very different from the Algerian one. Like in Algeria, we have couscous, we have many different dishes, but in Indonesia, it's a whole different story and a whole different palate, which is also a great experience, and it enriches the cultural. And also for me, shopping here in Sukabumi specifically is an enjoyable thing to do, and I always do so because they have a lot of different options for whatever you're looking for, and it's very cheap and budget friendly, which is a good thing for me as an international student to explore, whether it's trying new foods from the Indonesian culture or having an evening at one of the local cafes in Sukabumi to enjoy the cultures and the culture that they have, and the dance, the traditional dances. There was once traditional dance performed in the auditorium of Nusa Putra University by local students, along with Miss Monique from the Bahasa Indonesia class, which I was amazed by because it's very different from our dances or traditional dances in Algeria, which was for me very enriching and very cultivating.
Meriem, you are a student of education.
Yeah.
And you have chosen to study education, right? Can you please tell us something about the Department of Education and why you chose education as your specialization? Like you said, you already have a bachelor's degree in English, but now you have chosen to get another bachelor's professional degree in education. So can you please tell us something about your aspirations and the Department of Education at Nusa Putra?
Okay, so starting off about the Department of Education here in Nusa Putra University, I'd like to say that it's very rich when it comes to the curriculum, because in semester 1 we have tackled in many subjects, differentiating from how to build the character of a student in elementary school, and also how to deliver the information to different kinds of students. You as a teacher, I might encounter a student with difficulties, maybe a student with family issues and so on and so forth. So I remember having a class with Mrs. Annie. She taught us in the first semester about psychology of a student, and it was very enriching. I have always been interested when it comes to psychology, especially when talking about student developmental issues and stuff like that. It's very important to learn how to handle the classroom, not only by delivering the curriculum or the material. No, it's more of like knowing how to do so in accordance to different students, because in a classroom you're not going to have only one student or one type of learning method to deliver your material as a teacher. No, as a teacher you need to know that it is very important to know different kinds of learning, different methods of delivering the material based on the different students that you have. Also, you have to bear in mind that it's very crucial for a teacher to know whether their student is actually benefiting from the material in the most effective way or not. So for me, I have already got a bachelor degree in English language and literature, but also I wanted to further my knowledge by choosing to have another bachelor degree in education, more specifically in elementary school teacher education, which I find very interesting because as a teacher dealing with young minds is very, very, very fascinating to have to build the character of a student from a very young age. And the teacher is the first one. Like imagine with me if we have a student and it's the first year student, the first time that they get into a classroom and you are there, the teacher is there. You should be their role model, okay? You should be someone they look up to, and you should inspire them even before delivering the material, even before you start giving them or start applying the material, the curriculum and so on. It's very important to leave an imprint in the student personality and be a teacher whom they look up to. Actually, for education here in Nusa Putra, in the education department, I think that students are going to get equipped not only with the diploma or the degree, but more of great knowledge on how to handle a classroom filled with different students. Since we in our department, we are studying about many things, starting from different language acquisitions, going to basic concepts of mathematics, the basic concepts of scientific approaches, also going on to studying about Pankasila, as well as learning about how to deal with different students, as I was mentioning. And for me, students who are aiming to join Nusa Putra University, especially in the education department, I see that it's not only about becoming a teacher, but they can also get to make researches about different issues or language learning issues, for example, or how to handle a classroom with a student who is dealing with a learning disability. So there are a lot of aspects that they can learn or can make research about. It's not only about becoming a teacher, though becoming a teacher is a top-notch thing, I see, but also they can also further their knowledge into conducting researches about how to make studying easy, efficient, and accessible, not only for regular students, but also for students who may encounter difficulties during their journey. And we as teachers at Nusa Putra University, we are learning how to handle such things. For example, you may encounter students with ADHD, a student with difficulties in concentrating, a student who only learns through hand-on practice, and so on. So it's not merely about becoming a teacher. Nusa Putra University is specifically talking about the education department. This department actually is building us, building our personality, as well as teaching us how to filling us with the knowledge that we need to become the best teachers for our students, and learning about the methods that we need to implement in our journey of teaching in the future.
Thank you, Meriem. In fact, one of the purposes of the education department is not only to build up the professional capabilities and knowledge of the teachers, but also inculcate in them the sensitivity, the consciousness that different students learn differently, and to acknowledge and nurture those differences so that we do not treat all students like, Lego pieces or everyone the same. Yeah. But the teachers are able to cater to the different students and their different needs and build up them as they are to meet the students in their level. Right?
Exactly.
So that is what one of the focus of Nusa Putra University is, and like you rightly mentioned, the emphasis is not only in practical training, but also on research, which a large number of students in the education department are doing even during the bachelor course. So, Meriem, as a student of Nusa Putra University and as a Genusian scholar,
of course,
you see that Nusa Putra University is the third most diverse campus in Indonesia. You have got students from more than 80 countries who are studying here. How do you find this multicultural environment? How is it going to enrich you, or how do you find it? Is it conflictual? What do you learn from this multicultural environment in which you are studying? And how do you think it segues in? How does it play into your future plans to be an English teacher?
So for me, Nusa Putra University, as a multicultural and diverse university, as Mr. David was just saying, it not only equips you with the degree, but also it actually gives you a kind of like challenge to move out of your comfort zone. Because once you move out of your comfort zone, you are going to develop yourself, which is something that I really appreciate, that Nusa Putra University is giving every student, whether it's a local or international, the opportunity to actually meet different religions, different cultures. And the thing is that I appreciate the most is that it teaches us how to be around different people, how to respect opinions of different people, how to be friendly, and also how to respect, most importantly, different perspectives, different visions. And for me, Nusa Putra University has opened the door for me to have a vision, more of like to see the future with a bigger vision and a bigger perspective. As an international student from Algeria here in Nusa Putra University, I have had the opportunity to meet different religions, different cultures, different languages. I have friends from Turkey, from Russia, from Nigeria, from Gambia, from all around the world actually, which is something that I wasn't expecting I was going to have such an opportunity. So I'm very grateful and I appreciate this, because we've got to learn about different things in a very easy way, let's say. So being around campus or in our residence, Nusa Putra University residence, is something that I appreciate a lot. Different foods, different cultures, we get to talk about really interesting stuff in our, daily talk. For example, evening talks are residents. So it's very rich, it's a very amazing journey and opportunity. I encourage everyone to seek it.
Yeah, Meriem, you're from Africa.
Exactly.
People very often have a different idea of Africa, but Algeria is part of Africa.
Yeah.
Can you please tell us something about your country, Algeria, and especially how Algeria, as part of Africa, plays a role of being a bridge between cultures as it has historically? Can you please tell us something about your country?
So I am from Algeria, as I previously said, and Algeria is an African country, specifically located in North Africa, and it is a pretty civilized country, and we have let's mention the ruins from Rome, and there is in my own province there is a small town called Timgad, and there you can have a sightseeing, let's say, of the ruins of the Roman Empire there. And also we have our own traditions, let's say the Berber tradition or the Amazigh traditions. We have different, we are diverse, So Algeria is a very civilized country. We were colonized by the French, and it left an imprint on our culture. For if we are going to mention the food or talk more about the food, we would have a croissant, which is basically a French pastry, and then you can have a Turkish lunch, for example, kebab or something like that, and then for dinner you can have couscous, you can have shakshuka, which is also a traditional dish, and we have it's a very rich country with different rich with a very rich culture, alongside with the touch of the French that they left on our country, as well as we have a very, very, very rich literature. I can mention Yasmina Khadra, I can mention Malik ibn Nabi. If you want to visit Algeria, I highly recommend that you visit all of it if you got time, because it's a very diverse country. You can find in the north, you can visit the beaches there. The view there is scenic and very satisfying and pleasing. And then you can go to the south, where you find deserts, and it's very beautiful. It's very unique for me to have such a different views in just one country. It's like the desert in the south, the let's say kind of like tropical vibes in the north, and then you've got the in the Berber traditions everywhere in the west and so on. So it's very rich, where you can have the taste of both tropical, desert, have the experience of many countries in one country, you see? So it's like you can enjoy your trip in Algeria by visiting different cities, as if though you visited different countries, while you are only still in Algeria. In Algeria also we have our own language, which is the Amazigh language or the Berber language, which is actually we have different types. We have Shawi, we have Qabaili, we have also Mzabi, and so on and so forth, which actually tells a whole story about about our traditions, which I am very proud of, and I'm very, very proud to be an Algerian, most and if we want to talk in general, an African, which is something that I am highly proud of, and it's something that I think every Algerian citizen should be proud of. So as an Algerian, I'm also African, and I'm happy to say that even though Africa was left devastated after the colonizations that happened and took place there, and proudly saying that Africa is a very rich continent. Africa is a very, very rich continent, and even though it was left devastated, it's taken its power back. And as an African myself, all of us African brothers and sisters are working very hard in order to let Africa prosper in the best way possible, as well as it's a very rich continent, from the wilderness to the cultures to the imprint that the colonizations have left into in our continent. I'm very proud to say this, and Africa is going to be the best continent to a bridge of civilization also, and the future belongs to it. And it makes me feel some kind of very, very unique feeling to be an African, because it is actually a life proof that even if you had to go through war and to go through devastating experiences, you still grow and you still make a change. And the change that Africa is making is very, very unique and outstanding.
Meriem, do you have any message for our viewers in your languages?
Of course, yeah.
Tell it.
So I'd like to start it off with our Amazigh kind of like salutation. I'd like to say الزول في اللون. نرحبوا بكم في الجزائر في أي وقت بغيتوا تجيو. وحاجة أخرى إنه الجزائر pour moi c'est le pays de tout le monde. تقدروا احنا نرحبوا بكامل الناس من كامل من أنحاء العالم كامل. Je suis vraiment fière d'être algérienne ici à l'Université de Nusa Putra, parce que ça me donne l'envie de partager mes émotions, ma culture et bien sûr mes traditions comme an Algerian, Berber, African, and also an international student here in Nusa Putra.
Thank you so much, Meriem. I wish you all the best in all your future endeavors as you play a role, not only in building up Algeria, but also Africa, and play your role as an architect of the future of your community, your Berber community, your Amazigh community, your country of Algeria, and also Africa, which, like you said, is the continent of the future.
Of course.
And I wish you all the best in all your undertakings, and I pray that you find all the success and you build your foundation here at Nusa Putra University. Thank you so much for coming to
Thank you so much.
Podcast.
Thank you so much, sir. I appreciate your invitation, and for me, it's a really amazing opportunity to speak my mind and so on.
Thank you so much.
You are very welcome, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for coming to Genusian Pod. Nusa Putra University endeavors to give an opportunity to people from all over the world to be contributing members of their society. Just like Meriem here, who has an aspiration to go back to her country and build not only her community as a teacher, but her country and even her continent together with other countries. This sort of vision is what inspires us to continue in our mission of providing education without barriers. Thank you so much for joining us on this week's Genusian podcast. Till we meet again next week, Sampurasun, and have a great time.
Thank you.